Hi folks, Eagles beat reporter Mike Kaye here for NJ.com. Carson Wentz has signed a 4-year contract extension with the Philadelphia Eagles, extending him through the 2024 season. He had 2 years remaining on his rookie contract before agreeing to the pact with the Eagles. This is a huge deal, obviously. The Eagles franchise quarterback is locked up for the foreseeable future. He is going to be the guy moving forward. He's coming off 2 consecutive season-ending injuries. That's something that probably gave a lot of people on the outside pause. It did not give the Eagles pause. He looked great during OTAs. He participated in the bulk of the offseason program, which was a good sign for Wentz. The stress fracture in his back didn't seem to really limit him. Throughout the 4 open practices that we got to see, his mobility looked on point. He was throwing the ball very, very well. He looked accurate. He's a guy that is the foundational piece of this franchise. They let Nick Foles go in free agency. He signed with the Jaguars. That was the decision right there. You don't let go of the Super Bowl MVP without knowing that you really want Carson Wentz to be the guy. Now, Wentz is going to make $128 million in new money on the 4-year extension. Overall, he's going to make $154 million when it's all said and done. Then, on top of that, he's guaranteed $107 million, a little bit more than that, actually. And that guaranteed money is the largest total for an NFL player in NFL history. Now, Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles owner, has been adamant that he is the guy, that Carson Wentz is the guy that they want to be the focal point and the face of their franchise moving forward. This is a huge, huge deal for him. It solidifies and cements him as the guy moving forward. Obviously, this is the biggest deal for the Eagles since it's the biggest deal in NFL history. This just really goes to show you that Carson Wentz has really led the Eagles to believe he is the guy. You know, he had that MVP caliber season in 2017. Unfortunately, he suffered the ACL and LCL injuries that forced him to sit out throughout the Super Bowl run. Nick Foles cleaned up from there. But Carson Wentz is the guy. He's the guy that got him that home field advantage that year, which helped them have a better road through the playoffs. They got the first round bye, and then everything came through the link until the Super Bowl, and Nick Foles had an incredible game in the Super Bowl. This is going to be the focal point of the Eagles' offense moving forward. Wentz's deal will be the focal point of the salary cap moving forward for the Eagles. This is going to be what the Eagles used. This is going to be basically what the Eagles were saving all that money for during the offseason. He's averaging around $32 million a year. It sounds like a lot of money, but if this is your franchise quarterback, this is what the market dictates. Nick Foles is gone. You've made your decision. Again, Carson Wentz was going to be the guy the second free agency hit and Nick Foles left. You had to solidify your guy. They had 2 years left on the rookie deal, but they wanted to show that they have all the confidence in the world that Carson Wentz can return from injury. Now, if he can't and he continues to be somewhat injury prone, this is going to look like a bad deal for the Eagles. But you have to take this chance. We all talk about in the draft, when there's a quarterback you love, you have to take him now. You don't have time to wait. You can't be patient. It's the same thing with locking up your franchise quarterback. He has looked great during OTAs. He's probably going to look great during training camp. The stress fracture in his back is less worrisome than the ACL injury, and he looks like he's doing much better mobility-wise 2 years removed from the ACL injury. So I think, again, this is an opportunity for him to really solidify himself as an Eagles legend, as the guy that, you know, has a lot of pressure on him now to bring the Eagles back to a Super Bowl and win it. You know, this is his team. It has been his team since he got here. And now it further cements him as the top guy in all of Philly sports. For the Eagles, he is their focal point. You look at what this will do moving forward, it probably hurts some other potential deals moving forward. Nelson Aguilar is a guy who's probably in the last year of his tenure with the Eagles. He's set to make $9.4 million this year. You look at kind of future contracts, this could potentially impact Alshon Jeffrey's deal moving forward. It could impact the way they spend on defense. But for right now, the focal point and the face and the most important player in the Eagles locker room, Carson Wentz, has signed an extension that will lock him up for the next 6 years. He will be here till 2024 if all goes well. And the Eagles really rewarded themselves by selecting properly in the 2016 NFL Draft. For all of our Eagles coverage, turn to the sports section of NJ.com.